February 5th of '08, I joined and I went down to Fort Knox, Kentucky for my basic AIT.
Mhm.
A lot of people thought it was like BS what they were putting us through, and I knew because my uncle and my papa, they're like they're going break you and build you the way they want, and it's not for the weak. Well, yeah, it
Mm.
wasn't for the weak. We had a few drop out and a couple go AWOL and have to go back through with another company after we graduated. 16 weeks and 4 days of BS.
No, Kentucky, I'm not sure about them because I got the luxury of going to relax in Jackson. Was Kentucky
They call it hard knocks for a reason.
yeah, I'm about to say, isn't that the all-male one as well? Because I think
Yeah, it was all male. There wasn't any females where we were at that I seen.
yeah.
About the only fun time we had was Sundays when we got to go to church service. About 85-90% of us went to every service we could.
It's amazing how many people find religion in basic training just to not have to stay there and clean the barracks and do laundry.
Yeah. Well, and then like when they say no fatty cakes, no sugar, and all that, when you get caught with it, oh Lord Jesus, you pay for it.
It almost reminds me of the movie Full Metal Jacket,
Yeah.
where they get him in trouble, but we're nowhere near what that was, at
No,
least.
no. Well, whenever I was my last duty station at Fort Benning, I'm at the shop waiting in line. I see these slick arms, and I'm like, are you on like basic or what? They're like, oh yeah. I said, what are you doing buying cigarettes and dip? And
Mm.
they're like, oh, we're allowed to. I said, y'all don't get smoked? They're like, what's that? I was like, I said, get the fuck out of my face. Go. And then I saw them. They're not, at attention or parade dress talking. They're talking like they're in the Air Force, calling people by their first names and like buddy buddy.
Ooh, the ones in reception probably, huh?
I was like, oh Lord, you would never made it.
It's gonna be a rough couple of weeks for you. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, they had the walls sweating
Mm.
whenever I was in. And then I made the bad choice of calling one of them out, and they're like, come talk to me at the wood line. I said, well, I want someone with me because in my head I already knew what was going to happen. We get to the wood line and they're like, did this happen to you? Or you can turn around and act like nothing happened. Fucker turned around, act like nothing happened.
Do you blame them though? I
I,
mean,
I don't. I don't one bit, but I learned not to fucking call out one of your drill instructors real
Yeah.
quick.
They don't like that.
No, not at all.
So graduation of basic, you go to AIT. What was that like?
It was, well, we thought we were going to AIT. All right, it was a OSET. It was one stop training station.
Mm.
So they have us, they're letting us know, hey, congratulations, you graduated. And we're standing at parade rest waiting. They had us out there for like an hour and a half. And they were calling our names saying, hey, so-and-so's going here, so-and-so's going there. But we never left formation to line up where we were going. Then they left us again for about 45 minutes, and we're looking around like, what's going on? Where am I going for AIT? They come back out, and they were, like, I say 10 times worse on us than they were in boot. And everybody was like, it's supposed to be so much more chillax for you in AIT. No. They brought the smoke, bro. Like, I was like, fuck. So I'm still here. I still was on the third floor. I was still in the same area that I just left. Like, I was like, are you serious, man?
At least you didn't have to pack up and move all your stuff.
No, we packed everything. We literally had everything in our duffel and backpacks.
You know the drill sergeant's going, watch these dumbasses. They're gonna pack everything up, and then we're gonna make them unpack it all.
Yeah, we had to take our sheets off of our bed and everything, clean out our lockers, all that. We're like, hope I get somewhere good. The fuck back in? And we're like, oh my God, same bay. Yeah, same bay, private.
Yeah, see, I went from Jackson to Fort Gordon, Georgia, so it was like a 3-hour bus ride. And they were just as mean. How long was your AIT?
It was combined. We had 16 weeks and 4 days.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically almost 8 and 8 technically. Ours was like 9 months. So 19 kilo. What was the training like for that though?
Honestly, it was more smoke sessions than anything. I mean, we gotta go to the rifle range and shoot and qualify, and we gotta learn about the radio inside the tank and how to change the tracks out and like what weapons to mount up on. And but mostly, man, it was just, oh, you guys want to fuck off? All right, well, let's go here. Well, finally, it got to where they didn't really take us to any pits anymore and just took us to the bay. Because we made fun out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Oh, you're gonna smoke us? No, you're just training us to get stronger."
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh," they caught on, like, "These motherfuckers want this
These
shit."
little dumbasses are learning.
Yeah, so
I think that's a lot. Once you take that joy of their pain and punishment away from them, they're going, oh, now you guys are actually working as a team. Now we can get to real training
yeah. Well, at the
after we
end
smoke another 5 days.
at the end, right before we had our ceremony and everything to meet up, but we had to get tapped out by our one of our family members. A couple of our drill instructors were like, "Look, I would stand by you guys 100% and trust that y'all have my back." And then, I don't know if we're allowed to throw names out, but Drill Sergeant Burt, if you're listening or you see me, I was his first class coming through, and you would have never thought of it. And then, believe it or not, after I went overseas and got back, people were like, "This is where you're at, the black hole. You ain't leaving." I was like, "Well, I put in for 3, and then I come up on orders for Fort Knox."
Mhm.
So I get there and I'm checking in, going through CIF, and I hear, "Hey, guy." And I'm looking around. He said, "Dumbass, behind you." I turn around. I'm like, "Sergeant Burt." He's like, "What are you up to?" I was like, I'm stationed here, you know, and he's like, "What, wasn't you my first class?" I was like, "Yes, I was." He's like, "I still got the picture that you guys gave us."
Mm.
So it was pretty cool to run into one of them.
That is, I mean, it is interesting to see them outside of that drill sergeant capacity because you get to see the human side. I mean, in hindsight, we understand why they did what they did. We understand they had to be who they were and act how they were, but it is very relaxing to see them in a
Yeah,
non-professional dictatorship way.
for sure, for sure. It was nice. It was real nice. And then some of the NCOs I served with over the years, I kept in touch with a few of them. Unfortunately, I found out some passed away, and it wasn't even wartime. It was once they got on out or they couldn't cope
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up taking their lives. It's kind of sad to hear. And then one that gave me shit all the time, it really blew me away because I figured I'd be like, well, this motherfucker got what he deserved, treating everybody like shit. But then it's like, do I want people talking about me like that too? So I was like, damn, man. And he helped mold me into the man I am. So I got to thank him also for it. So,
I had a staff sergeant in one of my units, biggest asshole I ever met. Anytime you went to him about a question, because I worked with radios, if you ever went to him about a question about the radio, his first question back would be like, have you looked it up? Have you gone and looked at the manuals for that? Well, yeah, but I don't understand it.
yeah, your FMs. Yeah.
Go figure it out. And I hated him so much because he made me go look it up. And again, hearing how I'm saying it now is going, no, he taught you how to look it up. So when you have your own soldiers in your own shop, you're not going, well, I don't know. I don't know. No, go look it up. Figure it out for yourself. Learn how to get to the problem and solution on your own and don't rely on somebody else. And that is like one of the life lessons of the military I learned from the guy that I really could care less for, but
Well,
appreciate and respect him.
I miss some of the pranks we used to do on each other
Mhm.
too. Like, my first thing to my unit with 2 STB, first CAD unit, they were like, "Hey, come here." I'm like, "Yeah." They said, "We need you to go to the top and ask for a box of grid squares." I was like, "Grid squares?" They're like, "Yeah." Dude, I walked all around the motor pool, finally figured out where Top was. And he's like, "Hey, what's up, Private?" I was like, "I got sent on a mission." He's like, "Oh, yeah? What's your mission?" I said, "Well, I need boxer grid squares." He looked at me. He's like, "Stand by, guy." So I'm standing there waiting. All of a sudden, he comes out with a box of squares. And he's like, "Take this to the guy that asked you and tell him to come see me." Well, I finally made it back, and my NCO was like, "Good God, what took you so long? You've been gone like an hour." I said, "I didn't know where I was going. I was going through doors. Finally found." He's like, "Well, did you get those?" I said, "Actually, yes. Top wants you. Like, now." He's like, "Fuck." Top smoked the shit out of us. And then I got told, go find a pricky 6.
Yes, pricky 6 are always the best. Especially when you have to go find it from the pricky 9. I mean, there's so many of that. The chem light batteries.
Yeah, or exhaust samples.
The soft spot in an up armored Humvee.
Yes, yeah.
That was always one of my favorites.
I had a first lieutenant, or no, second lieutenant. I was like, "Hey, sir." He's like, "Yeah." I said, "We're turning all these vehicles in later on, but we got to have all the soft spots evaluated. So I need you to go through with this and mark." He's like, "All right." About, I don't know, 45 minutes later, one of the NCOs comes on in and was like, "What the hell's that lieutenant doing?" I said, "I told him to find the soft spot."
He's put into his college degree to good work.
Oh, yeah, dude, man, I miss it. I do. The only thing I don't miss, like, I miss the camaraderie and fellowship. But when you're supposed to get off like 16, 1700, and they're like, "Hey, motor pool." And we do Connex layouts or get the vehicles staged.
Someone loses a pair of fucking MVGs.
Yeah. Or like, we're missing a barrel to a 50 cal, and we got it's mandated that we stay on post. 3 days later, and all the wives are like, why aren't you coming home? Are you sure you can't leave?" And then they got to bring us food and change of clothes and everything just to find out that they miscounted. Like, are you serious, guy?
And they miscounted after counting the 5 times before.
Yeah.
It took them the 7th or 8th time to go, it's been here the whole time. I mean, we've had that happen with MVGs where they've locked the whole place down because there was a sensitive equipment, and you're sitting there for 3-4 days going, "Come on, guys, there's got to be a fucking no one steals MVGs."
Yeah.
It was in a locker.
Well, and it also hurt, like, got 4 kids. And they're like, "Why ain't daddy here? Why are we having to go see daddy? What's wrong?" And I can't really explain to them because they're not really getting it.
Yeah.
Like, it put dampers. So,
I mean, that is a huge strain on the family. I mean, I could understand, like, supposed to be off at 17, but get off at 18, but being stuck there for 3 days. I understand the reasoning behind it, but that is one of the things I don't miss. Tell us always be 10 minutes early, but then we're going to wait 3 fucking days to find out that a pair of MVGs are in the back of a closet.
yeah, also hearing that famous word, pop smoke. You ain't got to tell us twice.
Especially on a Friday safety brief.
Yeah. Or you come in at 4, 4:30 in the morning to do PT, and NCO's like, "Hey, pop smoke." Like, all right.
We don't got to hear that twice.
There was a few times, though, I got there early and fell asleep in my vehicle, and I wake up, and they're, just now getting back. I drive right on. I didn't hop in. I acted like, I was severely sick. I couldn't make it. And they're like, "Well, go to the sick call now." And that's what saved me a few times. Like, then I've been on extra duty and missed out on pay and lost rank. And I was always told, though, by, famous E6 and E7s, well, sometimes you got to fuck up to move up. The fuck, man, you fuck up.
You fuck up, you're going back down. Especially if you're in one of those MOSs where the cutoff is 798, 800 points. You can't afford a fuck
We had
up.
like a 350, 375, so we were getting promoted like crazy.
I wish. Ours was 798 the whole time I was in. I got to right at that tail end. I mean, that's all your correspondence courses, your awards, your PT maxed out, everything, and you're just struggling to squeeze whatever little point you can. And then you got to wait for some motherfucker to move up in his side so you have a room. It was not easy to rank up in our MOS.
Well, dude, I used to piss off a bunch of like NCOs. I made real good friends with a major, and he always had my back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like house set for E6, and like there would be times, hey, Cupp, I'm like, yeah, what's up? Hey, I need you to babysit my home. What about me showing up to PT and we're out in the field? You know, don't worry, I got it. Are you sure? Then the NCO that's usually in charge of me, where the fuck's Cupp? Oh, hey, don't worry about him. I got him.
He's covered.
Yeah, or the major would see me get smoked and like, hey, get up. And the next thing you know, you turn around, I'm running away because he's smoking the NCO. Oh, it was great, man. But yeah, I got frowned upon because you're not supposed to fraternize.
The fraternization.
Yeah. But and then the major, I think he ended up getting out as like a Fulber colonel or whatever, and I needed a recommendation. Dude, he blew me away with my recommendation and made me cry. Like even the wife at the time was like crying, like,
Oh,
oh my
wow.
God. Yeah. It was good that I got the recommendation, but I guess lied on the application so I didn't get it. And that was heartbreaking. It was with, wasn't Secret Service, but it's, has to do with Homeland.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, I did all the background, live skins and all that, man. Tested out. And all because I told them like, no, I don't believe I got a record. It's supposed to be sponged. Nope. They found whenever I was 19, I had closed container. So that they're like, unfortunately, you lied on the application. Had you not lied, we'd be going further.
Forward.
Yeah, like so.
It's not even a lie though. It's just a at the worst misunderstanding.
Yeah, well, like I know I ain't got a record. Well, you got closed container on your rep. Oh, crap! Like, well, you gotta excuse me. Like, I've got brain trauma and PTSD, and I can't tell you what I did last week. I can barely tell you what I did an hour ago. And you expect me to remember whenever I was 19, here I am 30 years old? Like,
it ain't happening. And plus, even at that, I mean, you would think that, going from 19 all the way up to 30 something without any other bad thing happening, they'd be like, okay, we get it. But no, keeping the man down.
yeah.
So going from Kentucky, you deployed to...
Well, I deployed. Well, after Kentucky, I
Okay.
got stationed at Fort Hood. That was my first duty station. I deployed. It was like, I think it was towards the end of December.
Okay.
We put boots on ground in Kuwait. So I think I spent Christmas over there. Did I? Yeah, I think I did. And then we were there. We were in Kuwait for like, I don't know, 30, 45 days. And then half of us, well, they parted us in threes. A few of us went to Erbil. A few of us went to Kirkuk. And I forget where the other people went. But I did 6 months in Kirkuk. And then the major I was talking about earlier requested me up there in Erbil. So I went to Erbil and spent my last 6 months in Erbil with him.
So what was the deployment like?
It wasn't what I wanted. I was, first off, I joined to like, might sound harsh or fucked up. I joined to kill motherfuckers that was doing America wrong, like Taliban. And then I get there and it's like, oh, we're peacetime. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me. I didn't join for this. And other people were like, oh, hell yeah. Well, it's going to be all gravy. We're going to be pogues and not have to do shit. And it's like, well, I want to do shit. But I got stuck in the talk and had to do operations there. And then I did help out with like chow and setting up radio comms. And there's a few times I went out. But once I got to Erbil, that's whenever I really started doing like Roman guard and had a lot more to do there than I did back in Kirkuk. Like I felt such like a pogue while I was there.
It's almost like being on garrison, just having to have a flak vest, Kevlar, and gun with you.
Well, and what sucks is though, like where I was at on the fob, there was still people going out, and they're like, "Nope, we need you at the talk." And I'm like, "Really?" And the one day I thought I was going to get to go out, and they had a replacement for me. The replacement was sick, and they yanked me. I got all excited, was getting ready to get in the MRAP, and they're like, "Nope, we need you back here at the talk." I'm like, "Oh my God." And then one of the funniest moments I can remember. So the sirens are going off, and they're like, "We got, indirects coming, or like mortar just landed over by one of the bus stops." Well, I had to use the restroom. The restrooms inside were tooken up. So I'm running out there. I get in one of the porta potties, and all you can hear is the loud sirens telling you, take cover, take cover. And I'm like, "Oh Lord Jesus, please let me make it through. I don't want to die in the porta potty." Like, "Well, how did my son die?" "Oh, taking a shit in the porta potty." Like, that's a fucked up way to go out.
At least you'll be memorable. Hey, remember that one guy who died in the porta potty? Yeah, dude, that was shitty.
Literally shitty. But yeah, and then I get done and I hurry up, run on in, and they're like, "Where were you?" I said, "I was outside in the porta shitter." What do you think I was doing? Like, put two and two together, man.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
And it was so hot inside there. I had full battle rattle on. It was already like 140 degrees over there, and it's been baking in the sun. Oh, bro, it was horrible. But I look back at it and I laugh every time. Like, yeah, here we are supposed to be taking cover, and I'm in the porta shitter.
Yeah, those things were miserable, plastic, just swelling from the heat. It's like an extra 30, 40 degrees in there. You're just covering sweat. You look worse going out than you coming in. Oh, I hate those things. We had times where our contractors they rebelled against us or mutinied because we weren't paying enough or it was too dangerous, and they would let our stuff overflow. Oh,
I didn't like the contractors, man. Like, they're making six figures, and I'm like, "Okay, you're making six figures. Let me see what you're doing." So there's a few times I was in charge of protecting the contractor from KDR, like the electrician. Well, little do I know, he's got his own local nationals following him around, and we're going in, and I'm like, "Okay, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm not doing anything. I'm watching them do it." And they're rewiring all of, like, the lights and AC units. I said, "You're making six figures and you don't lift a fucking finger?" He's like, "No."
Contractors, even when I was deployed, that was ridiculous, ludicrous pay. They made some bank off the government.
And then some of them's just sitting back, like the ones that wash our clothes and give them back to us. They weren't washing them. They were watching the local nationals wash them. I'm like, "Man, I need a job like this." Like, but I thought it was funny too. A couple of the local nationals be like, "Brisket, can you get brisket?" And I'm like, "What?" And the guy I'm walking around with, he's like, "You want barbecue? Get him chicken or brisket." I'm like, "I can't do that." But there was one time I went and got my food and wrapped it. And I'm looking around. I'm like, "Here, guys. I see y'all working hard. Here's water." I took care of them. It was pretty cool. And they also got me one of the cool cell phones while I was over there. I had a Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude, it was nice. And people were like, "Where'd you get that?" "We got the sliding Nokias and stuff." And I'm like, "Local national?" They're like, "Oh, here's money. Get me one."
At least you guys got cell phones out there. We weren't. We were not allowed to have them. We barely had internet.
Well, I was told, don't get one. I went 30 days. And I got tired of spending my money on the cards. So what did? I bought me a cell phone, and I got caught with it because my parents back home was calling me, and here I am on shift. They were calling to tell me goodnight because they were going to sleep. And they're like, "Guy, didn't I tell you not to get one?" I was like, "You got one? It doesn't." "Okay, no, we're not going to play this." That's what kept me in trouble. I called them out for double standards, but I was tactful about it. I go to parade arrest, ask them, "Hey, wasn't this put out?" "Yeah, okay, so we got to follow and you don't." They're like, their famous line was, "Check down, not a." Like, boy.
That's how they pass the blame. It's like a parent going, "Do as I say, not as I do."
Well, I called our sergeant major out one day. It's one of the, and I wasn't even going to, but one of my NCOs was like, "Hey," I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, this was put out, right? And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" They're like, "What's he doing?" I said, "That's sergeant major. He do what he want." He's like, "Nah, go check him." I was like, "Oh, y'all set me up." They're like, "Nah, go check." Went on over there tactfully. I was like, "Hey, sergeant major." He's like, "Yeah, specialist Cupp." I'm like, "Didn't you, like 3 days ago, put this out in formation?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Then why are you doing it?" He gave me that look. I'm like, he's like, "No, I respect that. You're checking me." He's like, I square myself away. Thanks. And all these other NCOs were looking at me, and the other ones were like cracking up laughing because they thought I was going to get smoked. I walked back. They're like, "No fucking way." I was like, "I squared him away, guys."
I'll take that as a win. I mean, that's a good thing, though. I mean, the sergeant major's not going to sit there and smoke you just because you're checking him on his own fucking policy.
Dude,
So
I thought for sure I was getting annihilated, bro.
see death before your eyes. There's the action you wanted that you didn't get.
Well, in a way, I told two Fulber colonels to fuck off, but I didn't mean to. I'm the type of person, like, you're supposed to be looking up at your surroundings at all times. Well, I look down because I like to find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought I found some money, and I bend down, and I hear, "Hey, guy." And I look up, and it's two full birds, and I'm like, snap to parade arrest. I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Are you fucked up?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? You're supposed to salute us." I was like, "Oh, yeah." Salute them and went back. And I have an NCO and I have a PFC looking at me like, "Oh my God." I get back and they're like, "You just told two Fulber colonels to fuck off." I was like, "I didn't mean to." They're like, "Well, what were you doing?" "I thought I found some money on the ground, so I went to go pick it up." They said, "Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. You're a fucking soup sandwich." I was like, "At times."
At
At
times.
times.
I do the same thing. I'm always constantly looking down, but I mean, you'd be amazed what you find. I mean, I found money, $20 bills in Walmart and stuff just by looking down. People don't. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what kept me in trouble, man. Like, and at one time I had to carry around AR 670-1 with me
Mm-hmm.
because I was getting called out, and I'm like, "Look, my sideburns are good. My boots are bloused how they're supposed to. Anything else?" And I'm like, because I pissed them off, like royally pissed them off, and eventually they stopped because once again uh I had a colonel on my side. I had a sergeant major on my side. I even had a couple like E6 and E7s on my side. So they were like, "Look, lay off of him." He's like, "You guys are just trying to find everything in the world to get this dude out."
Nitpicking.
He's already on his way out on a medical discharge. Like, just leave him the fuck alone. So,
What was your rank at that time?
well, so here's what happened. I was scheduled to make my E5. I was
Mhm.
getting promoted. I put in a packet months ago to make my son's first birthday back home. Well, literally the day before we were supposed to head out to go on home, they're like, "Hey, Cupp, you're going to the field." I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm heading out in the morning." They're like, "Yeah, to the field." I said, "Bullshit." They're like, "We yanked your packet. We need you." I was like, "Oh my God, you gotta be fucking kidding me." So I went on home. I was like, "Look, I got bad news." She's like, "Well," I can't go. Started a big old riff there.
Mm.
So she went on home. I ended up having guys come on over. We was playing beer pong, drinking, and we knew we had to be in at 4:30 to start going out to the field. Well, we got called about, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. "Hey, we got to miss a night sight. Got to get on post." And I was like, "Look, I've been drinking." They're like, "Well, you need to figure a way out." So we all figure a way out how to get there. And they're like, "Who all was at Cups?" And they raised, like 6 of us raised our hands. They took us behind the Connex and they're like, who's been drinking?" We all, like, I watched them raise their hand. So I was like, they're like, "Who's underage?" And they wouldn't raise their hand. They're like, "Who's underage?" 3 of them raised their hands.
Mm.
And what's shitty is one of them was getting ready to turn 21 in 2 days. Another one was getting ready to turn 21 in a month. The other ones were like 19, 20 years old, but they've already did a deployment. They fought for our country. And one of the NCOs had them over 2 weeks prior getting drunk with them. Dude, they got me drunk on duty, serving alcohol to underage minors. So I ended up getting extra duty, pay took, and my rank.
Mm.
So when they were doing the ceremonies to advance, they took my 4 off of me and slapped me with 3. So not only did I lose my sergeant rank, I lost my specialist rank. Well, I got called into the office a couple days later, and they were telling me everything. Well, I left the office, and I slammed the door open and went downstairs to have me a cigarette, put a hole in the wall.
Mm.
So then I got read again. We're taking your rank and extra duty tacked on and another month's pay.
Mm.
So I lost out on I think maybe 3 ranks or maybe 2. I forget. But I had 2 months pay took, 180 days extra duty. My wife and kids get home about 4 days later and she's like, "Hey, how's Sergeant treating you?" And I'd look down. She's like, "What?" I went and grabbed my hat and I was like, "This is my rank." She's like, "What the fuck happened?" And I told her, she's like, "You're so fucking irresponsible. What are we going to do?" I was like, "Baby, I don't know." So luckily there was a bunch of MREs that we couldn't put back because they were already signed for.
Mm.
I took home like 12 boxes of MREs. We was cutting rags and t-shirts and she was reusing them. We'd wash them and she learned how to do like powder detergent and make soaps. So that's how we lived. We scraped by. And here I was living off post around a bunch of E6s and full-bird colonels and stuff. And like we barely made it, man.
Just
Like,
scraping by.
yeah. But eventually I made my 4 back and I was getting ready to make corporal before I got on out. And what sucks is, so right before I left, people that made their 5, there was a few of them that made their 6 right before I got out.
Yeah.
So I could have possibly been an E6 getting out instead of an E4P.
Mm.
Sucks, man.
But at least you got back to the E4P.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were living that E4 mafia life for a while and
Oh,
just
I
got
was.
busted.
Oh, but it's shitty because there was 3 NCOs. There was one that went to the barracks almost every week and got drunk with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was 2 of them that had them over at their spot getting drunk. So it's cool if they do it, but Mark Cupp,
Rules for thee, not for me.
yeah, it was shitty, man. What you gonna do?
Deal with it. So back to extra duty. What happened after you did your time in military punishment?
Oh man. So I think I was probably like 60 or 70 days in extra duty. And I was heading on home. It was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting pulled over. And I'm like, "Oh man, what's going on?" They're like, "Your turn signal's out, right?" And I was like, "No." And then they were like, "Well, one of your lights are out for your license plate." And I'm like, "All right." So I'm sitting there. I text the wife, "Hey, I just got pulled over. It's going to be a minute, but I'm on my way home." Before she could even text back, okay, 15 cruisers surround me. I'm like, what did I do? Like, and guy steps out, knocks on my window. I roll it down. He's like, "Know why we're here?" And I was like, "For a fucking light being out?" And he's like, "You're funny." No. Stolen vehicle. I dropped my phone. My energy drink went all over my vehicle. And I'm like, no. No. And I was like, "I got insurance on this." I said, you can't get insurance. They wouldn't let you get insurance. They're like, "Well, show it to me." And I was like, "I even got a bill of sale." And I'm looking for the bill of sale. And I'm like, I called my wife. I was like, "Babe." She's like, "Are you on your way?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm surrounded." "What do you mean you're surrounded?" "I got 15 cruisers surrounding me." She's like, "Oh my God." I said, "Bring the paperwork to the vehicle." She comes, they allow, her to bring it. She's 25 minutes away.
Mm.
She had to get my babies out and put in car seats, and she presents all the paperwork, and they then called my first line supervisor. They called the captain. They called first sergeant. Oh, so I had to get in the vehicle with her. They let me go. They're like, I said, "Look, this is my vehicle. Call me when the people pick it up so I can verify if it was them or not." And I make it on post next morning, and they're like, "We're going to do a safety brief."
Mhm.
Top was like, "Hey, Cupp, come up here." I already knew it was going down. They briefed about buying shit off of a Facebook market, but at the time it was Craigslist.
Craigslist, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, "This is why you don't buy shit off Craigslist. Cup, tell them what happened." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Dude, I was a mockery for like 3 months. So, anyways, it's been about 4 days. I called the police station and I'm like, "Look," I said, "have the people come pick the vehicle up yet or tried to?" They're like, "Same night." I said, "You couldn't have called me so I can tell you guys those were the people that sold it to me?" Dude, I had brand new wheels and tires on it.
Mm.
I upgraded the system. Like I've had $3,000 poured into it out of my own pocket. Plus I paid 3,500 for it. So they got the slicked out vehicle because of me.
Courtesy of you.
Yeah. So then I had to call my mama because I still had extra duty, and the wife needed the car, and we didn't have another one because I sold the one to buy this one. I was like, "Mama, look," I was like, "This is what happened. I found me a vehicle. It's from a car lot. It ain't stolen. Like, mind float me the money and I'll make payments?" She's like, "Yeah." So I got me a vehicle, was able to make it back and forth. Wife was able to take the kids to their appointments and whatever. But after I got off, they still gave me, hell.
Mhm.
And I was still a mockery for a little bit. But I made my rank back. I got orders to go to Korea. And I told the wife, I was like, "Look, I'm leaving for a year. I'm going to stay here." She was like, "I'm not staying here." I said, "We'll go home to family." She's like, "I'm not going home to family." She's like, "I know you can get us over there." I was like, "Yeah, I got to put in for it. And there's waivers and you got to fill out all kinds of papers." She's like, "Well, get the papers." It's like, "I don't want to be there 3 years." So she's like, "Well, if you leave and don't get it approved or don't try to, we're done." I'm like, "Oh my God." So I went and got the paperwork. She filled it out. I turned it on in. Well, I got approved for it, but then they wanted you to go do a physical to make sure you're okay. They're like, "Bad news." I said, "Well, what's the bad news?" They're like, "You're getting out." I said, "No, I'm going to Korea." They're like, "No, you're getting out." "Well, why?" They're like, "'Cause PTSD and you lost some hearing." I'm like, "Okay, but I still got my hands. I still got my feet. I can walk." There's people here with, artificial legs and hooks for their arms, and they're not getting out. They're like, their time's coming. So I end up getting medically discharged out. Let the wife know we're not going anywhere, but we're going to go somewhere. Well, they gave me the $27,000 severance pay. I ended up, my mama was flipping. She was like, "The vehicle, what are you going to do about the?" I was like, "Well, I'm getting severance pay. We'll make it work." Well, luckily, I don't know how, but luckily the wife found a spot for us that was covered up to a year. And you could either be in Maryland, Texas, Cali, I think Florida or New York, but she got us in Maryland. And we packed our bags in a U-Haul and traveled from Fort Benning all the way to Maryland,
Mm.
Gaithersburg, Maryland. And it was Operation Second Chance. They housed us up to a year. It was furnished apartment, and they helped you find a job. And while I was there, I was like, "Well, we're here for a year. I'm going to school." And I went to Montgomery College in Fredericksburg. They put me through to get certificates, become a police officer, and I did police officer work for about 6 months while I was there. After years up, we seen what our finances were, and we found a house and paid cash for our home in Indiana, and then lived there for about 8 years, and then moved down here. So while we were there, Operation Second Chance helped us out. Yellow Ribbon Foundation helped us out. They sent us to like VIP events for like basketball and baseball and indoor football. And I did a little promotion for Yellow Ribbon Fund. The wife was helping out Operation Second Chance and Yellow Ribbon Fund. She got involved with the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, and later on, I ended up getting into Wounded Warrior Well, actually, I've been part of Wounded Warrior Project, official alumni since 2013. But we did events here and there before then. But WWP has really done a tremendous job with myself and the family and other vets so far that I went through the process to help out with Wounded Warrior Project. Now I help host events, and I go to events, and we do a annual gala every year, and it's worked out for the best.
So a lot of good organizations out there to help you.
Oh yeah, well, and I, you guys are probably going to get tired of hearing Wounded Warrior Project, but they've been tremendous. They even they helped me. The benefits team there helped me get my 100%. So without them, I probably would have still been fighting for it for another year or two.
Mm-hmm.
But the wife and I handed it off to them, and within 6 months, we got an approval. And then they sent it out to us, and we're literally driving on the highway, getting ready to go to eat. And my wife at the time was like, "Oh my God, you got approved." And I'm like, "Approved for what?" She's like, "You're 100%. I was in 4 lanes of traffic. I was in the 3rd lane. I literally zipped off to the side of the road, parking. The kids were like, "Oh my God, we almost got into a wreck." And she's got tears coming down her eyes. And I pulled up on my email. Sure enough. And we start bawling. They're like, "Why are you bawling?" And I'm like, "I got 100%. Daddy's got 100%. So I called one of my buddies up, and I was like, "Hey, bro," it's like, "how long did it take for your back pay to hit for 100%? They're like, "Well, I got the approval letter and within 5 days." So we look at the kids. I look at the wife. So I think we're going to go out and treat ourselves tonight. We went to expensive buffet, and kids ate, we ate, and within I'd say 4.5 days, I had back pay.
Yeah, they're pretty decent about getting the back pay out real quick.
Yeah. So, yeah, I owe it to, even though we're not together anymore, I owe it to the wife because she put a lot of work into it, filing papers and submitting the stuff, and Wounded Warrior Project all the way.
And it's good to hear that you're giving her praise because, a lot of spouses don't get that praise, even if the relationship doesn't sustain and you guys move into different directions. They still, during that time that we're in, still need that little bit of praise because it isn't easy for a spouse.
No, it wasn't, not at all. And,
Well, definitely not with you, apparently.
I put her through shit. Military put her through shit because she was married to me and had to live it and witness it. And together as a team with her, when things were good, things were good. She knows how to navigate the
system.
Yeah. Because of her, we were able to save money. We purchased our first home together, and our goal was 27 years old, we're going to own a house. 27. I was 27. She just maybe turned 27 or was about to. We bought our first house because she was able to navigate the system to house that gives house. She hooked us up with a lot of organizations and sister organizations for spouses, and she got involved. She found a way to get me to play Fortnite with the Indianapolis Colts. We showed up at the mall. I think it was Apple We went on in there. I sat down with 5 players
Oh, wow.
and 5 other vets, and we're playing Fortnite. Like, she got us to meet Tom Hanks.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, and Andrew Luck was there, Elizabeth Dole, Samantha Guthrie. We gotta go to Indy 500, and who was there again? The very next day, Samantha Guthrie, Elizabeth Dole, Tom Hanks.
Oh, wow.
I got up on stage and got to show my tattoo of Woody, and it was it was really nice, man. Like, so where I'm getting, she navigated and hooked us up over the
Mhm.
years, and I can't take that away from her.
No.
We just, we lost interest, I guess, in one another, and didn't really see eye to eye, and we got tired of being toxic for our kids, and we parted ways. Now, we're not the best of friends, but we're friends, and we co-parent with our kids, and we had 2 graduate this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, my 19-year-old, he's walking sometime in June. Our 18-year-old, he just walked May 30th on her birthday.
Oh, wow.
So, and we got 2 more kids pushed through, and we're gonna work at it as good as we can, like, make things happen.
And do that because, I mean, the co-parenting is a huge aspect, whether, you're together or separate, whether you can't stand each other or whether you're friends or acquaintances. I mean, the kids didn't do nothing.
Oh, no, they
And
didn't, and they had to witness some stuff they shouldn't have and see mommy and daddy yelling and fighting. I didn't want them thinking it was the norm or okay, or
mhm.
this is how a man gets treated or a woman. So, I mean, dude, we hated each other. Wanted to, choke each other. So, and for a while, I had to build up a lot of build up animosity, and I had to go through therapy look, any soldier out there, military, vet, first responder, anybody, I highly recommend it. You got demons you're trying to fight, it's okay. Get therapy, get help. Man, it's helped me so much. I was doing equine therapy twice a week. I've been in therapy for 2 years. Well, actually, I've been in therapy on and off for about 10 years, but 2 years every week, like it helps. And getting involved in the church, surround yourself by like-minded people that want to see you succeed and be a good father and get help. You're not going to get demeaned or picked apart for fighting your demons. Like, get help. Don't be part of the 22. And honestly, I was about part of the 22. I had a botched suicide. So, but I thank the Lord every day. He gave me a second. Well, actually, he's gave me more than a second chance. I feel like every day we were overseas fighting for our country, putting our lives on the line. It was a new day. The Lord woke us up and
Mhm.
gave us another chance. But that really woke me up. It got me thinking, like, the kids don't deserve it. They'll live with like regret and remorse and wondering, was it because of me? Or was we not good enough? So I didn't want that for them. I wanted to get better and closer and try to fix the marriage, and just couldn't fix the marriage, but I fixed myself and got the kids help, and they're doing all right. Got, got 2 graduated. I got one going into 11th, one going into 10th. They're doing really good. Like, they're special kids, and I couldn't ask for better.
That's awesome, though. Those are those proud dad moments. I mean, again, relationships will come and go. They happen. Sometimes they work, which is not often, especially given the military life. But when you do find someone that you can make work, I mean, yeah, you're going to have your arguments, you're going to have your disagreements. But if you can still find a way to make it work and stuff, it says a lot, and it helps, and
Well,
it's really nice.
we tried for a long time. Like, this wasn't anyone off the streets. Like, we had something there prior. We went to school together. We've known each other actually almost 28 years. We're going on knowing each other. We were together a year before, almost a year before getting married. We were together at 18,
Mhm.
married 17. So, I mean, we tried.
Yeah.
That's all you can do is try. But at the same time, we both had to ask, at what cost is our happiness? And both deserved happiness. She's got it. I'm getting it. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think the therapy and everything is something like you were saying that will help, especially again, if you're with like-minded people, whether it's other veterans or whatnot, it will help and it can help and it can help a lot, especially if you're able to self-reflect and figure out the sources of those demons and issues.
well, I highly recommend anybody that's going to be listening or watching getting involved with organizations. There's so many. There's some for you. There's some for you and the spouses. Then there's some just for the spouses. And there's like 100 of them strictly for the females. Like, get involved. Google, look, like fishing. There's ones for fishing. You want to hunt. There's ones for hunting. If you want to try to rekindle your marriage, OHOP, Operation Hill Our Patriot. I highly recommend it. The ex-wife and I did it. We saw a lot going there and watched a lot of couples rekindle. One even renounced their vows while they were there.
Renewed? Renewed or renounced? 'Cause-
Renounced. Yeah, renounced. But and then like there's Ranger Road. They do a lot with like driving and parachuting. Like, I did my first jump 15,000 feet with Ranger Road. If you like shooting guns and fishing and having camaraderie with like-minded, Wounded Warrior Project. We do skeet shoots, a bird hunt once a year. We do a fishing trip down in Louisiana. They do breakfasts, and for the ladies out there that love getting their nails done, you go get a pedi or mani. You want to take your family out, like the kids and everything. There's bowling, skating. They're really here for you, and they don't want you being part of 22. I don't want you being part of 22. If you guys ever want to need someone to talk to and reach out to, find me on Facebook, Mark Cupp. Like, I'll be there. I'll be at ear. I don't know how many people I've saved them calling, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the wife used to get on me like, why is your ringer on? You're supposed to be getting sleep. You just busted your ass at work. And here we got to get up at 5 in the morning, start getting our kids ready. And I always told her, you never know who's calling and who needs that ear. And I want to be it. And there's been times like, oh, thank God you answered. Why, bro? What's up? Because I had a shotgun to my mouth. If you didn't answer, I was leaving Earth. And I'd be on the phone for 45 minutes to an hour talking.
Mhm.
And
it's not even necessarily like a major downward spiral that you can usually tell, because I had a friend that called me and his dog died. Close dog. Him and that dog were like tight knit. He called me one night and just done. He was just so depressed and just heartbroken. And we just sat there and talked for a while and made sure he was good. And it's like what you said, it's one of those, you can call me at any time. Yeah, you may call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I may be a little pissed off and grumpy, but I'd rather listen to you bitch at 2 o'clock in the morning than read your obituary.
oh, for sure, for sure. And, it's sad to say, I've lost some close buddies that I deployed with or served with, not even from suicide. I had one real tight with, we even scheduled, he was coming down with his boys, and he was going to see what he called his nephews. 3 days before, man, I get a call from one of my buddies, and I answer. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? He's like, you won't believe it, man. And I already knew something bad. I was like, what? He's like, Cartagena. I was like, what? He just got killed.
Mm.
He was on a motorcycle. Someone pulled out. He flew off and left behind 4 kids, man. Like, stuff's real like that. Then I had a buddy, did multiple deployments, got an arm taken off by a caterpillar. Like,
By a fucking caterpillar.
yeah, like, so you never know. Like, and then I've had people deploy that get home, get out, and lose their shit because that's what defined them.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's what created them. That's their whole
yeah,
persona. But I mean, once you get back and get out, I mean, we talked about this with one of the other guys, is that there's no handbook to it. There's no direction. They just kind of tell you to get the fuck out the gate and figure it out. And
Yeah, like
it's
you're not worth our time no more. You're worthless.
and it's overwhelming because when you get out, you have no place to go, nothing. I mean, most people, unless you're really well planned and prepared and got the family and stuff, you don't have anywhere to go. You don't have a job necessarily. You don't have everything set up. You don't know about all the resources.
Well, I honestly, if it wasn't for the ex-wife, like my plan was, okay, well, I got my mammal, I got my dad. Well, but we don't want to be burdens. What can we do? Get a camper, live in it for a little bit, or maybe take someone's garage for a little bit. So we're not, because we got the kids. I don't want to wake them up while they're trying to sleep. So we didn't have a plan. We didn't have no money saved. The money that I was getting out, I had to pay a car off. So I didn't lose it and run my mammal's credit. So we didn't know what we were going to do. Thank God. Again, my ex-wife knew how to navigate and search and find out, and we got hooked up.
Hmm.
Like, luckily there was no wait, because 2-3 weeks staying in a hotel. I don't want to do that neither.
Whatever savings you have up
Yeah.
saved is already going to get eaten through. So I mean, yeah.
So yeah, they should. I wish they would have helped us out. Like, hey, contact these people or go here and they'll help you.
Yeah.
Like, no, there was none of that.
What we were talking about last time is like, you know how they put you through boot camp to break you down from being a civilian to build you up to a soldier. They ought to have the reverse, how to break you from being a soldier and build you up as a civilian again. But
Yeah. Yeah. Cause whenever I got out, I'd say for probably 4 or 5 years, and I still got it in me, like military. I talked to my kids and I talked to the ex-wife and I used to talk to family members, or I had no feeling.
mhm.
And they're like, you're cocky. You're conceited as fuck. And it's like, I'm not conceited. I'm convinced I'm a bad motherfucker because of the service. You're not going to tell me otherwise. And I'm going to talk to you. I might give you the knife hand when I'm talking. And I finally broke that about 7 or 8 years ago. But I would be like, look, this is how it's going to be. If you can't get with it, then I don't know what to tell you. And they're like, what happened to the soft Marky, that went in, that was caring and didn't let nothing get to you and so joyful to be around? I was a fucking ass, bro. Like, family tolerated me because I was family. I was,
Mhm.
I was their son, their brother, nephew, husband, father, and I was a complete ass. And, therapy, church, going to these organizations to get help, to get the tools to put in the bag. But you got to use those tools. And it wasn't until recently I started converting back and grabbing for those and surrounding myself by people that wanted to do better in life and see better for me and my kids. And they were like, look, do you want the kids to be scared of mommy and daddy being at games and sports, wondering if something bad's going to happen? Or do you want them having a clear-minded head to be able to perform well and not get hurt out there? You also want to have 2 parties for them and not be around your significant, or do you want to be around and cherish those moments? And it got to me and thinking, and it was like, I want the kids not to worry. I want them to be out there making a name, becoming a legend. Like, that's one bad kid out there, man. Basketball, football, baseball, whatever they put their minds to. I didn't want them worrying. So we put shit aside, started co-parenting, and kids gave it their
Thrived.
all. Yeah, they thrived. So that's what we want to continue. And we're doing birthdays together, and kids ain't got to worry like, oh God, man, oh, what's going to happen now? Like that. Hey, we know we're good. If we know nothing's going to happen, they're going to get along, laugh. They might have a word or two, but what do you expect?
And it's sad when you go to these type of sporting events or the events for the kids and everything as parents, and then one person on the other side is just making life difficult, adding that tension. And like you were saying, the kids can't concentrate on their game, so they're going to be making mistakes, and then they're going to self-doubt themselves. And
Yeah.
depending on what parent is all pissy, they're going to probably be like, oh, you need to pick it up, you need to do better. And the kids are already.
Well, it's gotten so good here I'd say the past year, like the kids come to church with me, their mom and her significant other comes, her significant other and I, we powwow and talk, and he tells me about his work week, and I tell him what I've done, and it's I wasn't ready for that so soon, but I'm glad because the Lord worked on me and allowed me to extend olive branches and cherish the moments that we got now. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I still ask sometimes, like, why'd you allow me to? I wasn't ready yet, God. Like, maybe next year, but no, within 6 months, it was like,
Let's go, let's go.
yeah. So I appreciate it. And I still got, stuff I got to work on. I'm still going to therapy. I'm in church. I volunteer with church. Kids are going to Bible study. And they're also doing a retreat this month in New Mexico.
Oh, that's cool.
So like the kids are doing better. They're getting their minds right, and that's all I can ask for. Like, I think I got it going pretty good. There's still things, like I said, I'm working on, but you know,
You're always going to be working on those things, though, regardless. Because, I mean, with I don't really think no matter how much therapy you can have and everything, you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be yourself prior to the military.
well, you also got to get yourself out there though and
Mhm.
volunteer. Like, so there's WSA, uh, and they were doing football and soccer, and my son played for WSA. I started coaching. I I coached soccer. I got involved with church. My all three of my boys was doing basketball. I coached two of them. Like just getting out there and volunteering and working, like networking. You got to network. So I recommend that to the parents that are like us. Get out there, get involved with your kids, like volunteer, be their coach.
Yeah, and that same thing happened with us because my kiddo wanted to join Boy Scouts, so we were heavily involved in that, selling the popcorn and crap. And then once he kind of aged out of Cub Scouts, once he aged out of that, he wanted to do soccer. No one wanted to coach, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. After I don't know anything about soccer, I didn't want to do it, but it was for the kids, not even just mine, but it was for the 7 other kids that were there. And in hindsight, 8 weeks later, because we just finished the season, I kind of enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind going back in the fall and doing it again. Because so far, it seems like volunteering is a really good aspect. It keeps your mind focused, but not only on that, though, you're also being there for your kid. You're seeing their game. You're helping mold their mind and learn. So, I mean, volunteering, whether it's for a nonprofit organization or a veteran-focused organization, or even just Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and your kid's soccer team, baseball team, or whatever. I mean, that's going to help.
Yeah, I done well. So we had no scout pack or anything where we were at in Indiana, and myself and 7 other people volunteered, and we started up Pack 30. I was this Cub Scout master, and I had my assistant for about a year. I was Cub Scout master. Then I had one graduate from Cub Scouts to join the Boy Scouts, and then the ex-wife and I, since they could walk, we've had them in basketball, football. They tried baseball for a little bit. Gymnastics, they were in gymnastics. And for anyone that thinks it's whacked out to have boys in gymnastics, it works on their hand and eye coordination, their footwork.
Their balance.
Yeah, and it makes them 10 times better for basketball and football. Like, we were totally invested in our kids doing sports. So now they look forward to that. And when they're not in sports at school, they're in sports outside. Like you said, nonprofit ones, soccer, basketball at church, whatever. So look into it, get involved. Kids will be appreciative of it.
And those are the moments the kids will remember is when mother or father were there, not I wanted to do basketball and no one showed up or no one wanted to coach it and all this. I mean, if you're there for your kids' games and you're there to coach it and you're there co-parenting and making it a pleasant experience, the kids are going to remember that shit far more than, a lot of the other stuff like the expensive iPads and the VR headsets and the Xboxes and PlayStations.
Oh yeah. Well, and going back to like Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, the best times I had with them was the box derby.
Mm-hmm.
I sat it up. I got a car lot involved, and we went and had it done there, and helping the boys figure out what style car, how small, how big, what color. Like those moments, I'll cherish for the rest of my life. I don't know. It's just there's moments in life with my kids that I'll always remember. But right now, I'm kind of having some disagreements with my two oldest. Like well, all of us have been through it. Oh, we're 18. You can't tell us, nothing. We know it all. No, you're wrong. I'm right. Like my 19-year-old just got married in April.
Oh.
My 18-year-old just graduated. My 19-year-old's getting ready to walk for his GED this month. Like, I'm trying to show them or tell them what to avoid and how to avoid it, or tell them what I've been through so they don't go through it. But one of my friends earlier today was like, look, Mark, they're adults. They're 18. You got to let them live and figure it out for themselves. And I'm like, it's hard for me to let them figure it out. I want to stop it before it happens. I don't want them to endure the same bullshit I did or fuck up with the same things I did. I want to prevent that. And he's like, but what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
They're adults. They're thinking for their own. And until they figure like, damn, dad was right. Or I shouldn't have did that. Maybe I should have called, mom or dad and, allowed them to protect us. I got to let them, so, and that's where I'm struggling because I'm their parent at the end of the day. I'm not their friend. I'm their parent. And I don't want to see them fail and fall. I want to see them succeed and become just these amazing men I know that they're going to become. So,
and I think at this point, it's more you're going to have to understand of stepping away from parenthood, but step into mentorship. I mean, you can lead the horse to water. You can't force it to drink.
yeah.
But how often, I know I didn't listen to my father for shit, but how often did you really listen to your father? How often did you get in trouble having to learn from your own mistakes?
There was a lot of times I had to learn from my mistakes. And then I look back, it was like, man, I should have listened. Dad or my uncle or my stepdad knew what they were talking about. Like,
but even when we were young, we were stupid, thought we could rule the world. We were invincible. And now that we're getting older, we're going, I was a dumbass.
Yeah, well, and that's been a problem since I got out transitioning. I mean, I'm still, you don't transition overnight. You don't. So transitioning from a protective parent, you got to do that too. And it's hard for me because not only am I trying to transition from parenting, but it's like you said, being a mentor, I'm still trying to transition from a soldier. Like it's so, and some of them can click it off and on. I still haven't figured, even with all the tools in my bag, I still haven't figured it out. So hopefully I can at least figure out how to be the mentor and let them figure it out for themselves. And then they can come back and be like, Mom, Dad, you're right. But thank you for mentoring and being there for us. So hopefully one day I'll get that.
Just go back to your Cub Master days. Kind of how you're going to have to mentally rationalize it, I would guess. That rain. I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? Or do you need a break?
I mean, I pretty much got it all out there, really.
Right on.
Joining what happened, organizations, what I'm doing now.
Well, I mean, like I tell everybody, if it ever comes to a point that you want to come back on, you're always more than welcome. I mean, I want to hear progress. I want to hear updates and see it go. I mean, if this helps you, cool.
Well, one thing I would like to say is I really want to put out there, like, if it wasn't for a lot of you organizations, the people that's involved in my life now, my buddy that is the president of WSA, Coach Dickey, I appreciate you. Wounded Warrior Project, there's John and Eric and James. I really appreciate y'all. And then I can't, as much as I want to discredit, I can't forget my ex-wife. I appreciate all y'all. And the ones I haven't named, the ones that's been there, like even my church family, Tabby, James, Bruce, I appreciate y'all too, because without you guys, Lord knows where I'd be at. And then the ones that really stuck it out was my friends Ryan and Jess. They were there for me too during my divorce. Just never discredit anyone that was there for you and help you through. And gotta thank the man upstairs too. He's helped me with trials and tribulations. And he's still helping me. So I'd like to say thanks, everybody. Thank you. Even with me being hard-headed and stubborn and an ass, as my kids would put it. Thank you so much. And my family back home, I love you guys.
Well, on that note, I guess we will wrap it up. Again, if you ever want to come back on, you're 100% more than welcome. Anytime.
The siren started screaming and the mortar started flying, and there I sat in misery, praying and sweating and crying. Now how I pictured going out when I signed that dotted line. I figured it'd be something heroic, not a porta-john in wartime. So Lord, if you got plans for me, and if tonight is it, please don't let my final moment end like this. I've worn the flag with honor, I've done the best I can, but Lord, don't let me die taking a ship.